After a ragtag group of adventurers did some odd jobs for an eccentric rich man, they were invited to a dinner party. At such dinner party, they were introduced to the broker and some of his colleagues. You met Elvira Brimstone, a general of the tiefling nation state of Zephyr. You um, interacted with Bernadette, the cartographer, mapmaker, adventurer of the northern skies. You had a brief run in with a very rude mage in Delari Kreskai, a member of the Istrafallen Mage Academy. Um, Truly an instructor and a high level spellcrafter of his own. You met Finnegan Sworntooth, the goblin butler, and of course, Rabble Garand, the hobgoblin witch doctor. He spent a lot of time in a fountain. Hard to say. Um, God, you met so many people that night.
You
uh,
sure did.
of course, you were introduced to one of the brokers' bodyguard slash attendants in Duellin, who Llewellyn was charged with watching over the library and making sure no individuals without the broker's consent made it into the library. You met Katori Ferdinand Clay, an elder adventurer who spent many of his years in his youth adventuring with the broker, doing odd jobs and claiming to have killed a dragon, which is impressive as a dragon has not been seen for many, many years. Um, and of course, you met Torin Spinebreaker, one of the judges of Crowhaven, a high member of the you know Church of Crowan and Crowhaven, the capital of the state of Vertrag that you started in. Um, as the broker introduced himself to all of you and greeted his guests, he spoke of his plans that were in motion, that he is continuously gathering talent and people who are willing to find information for him, people that owe him favors, people who are willing to trade goods for services and talk about a world before this world, the world that hasn't felt quite right in some time. And the more and more he dug, the more and more he found that the land, the day and age, the timing of the place that you live just doesn't feel quite right. Spoke of the great old ones, these ancient beings of elemental influence that used to walk this world and have been since trapped in their own elemental planes by the first Grand Covenant and the arrival of Soren Lin and and Crowan, and spoke of power in a name and the fact that to find such a thing, to call upon the power of these elder beings could unravel what this world may have been. Thinking this was ridiculous, Torrance Spinebreaker decided he wanted nothing to do with this and to hell with his deal and pact that he had made with the broker some time ago, to which the broker flexed just a bit of his power as you watched as the large gentleman in front of you crumbled to his knees as black veins of stress creeped up his neck as his heart began to stop in front of you for a follower of Crowan not keeping a deal. Well, that's unforgivable. As the party dispersed and you were all given a final task, an option of a job that you can complete to complete the contract you were originally given, you ended up making your way to out of the city. Sorry, let me jump back a little bit. You ended up deciding to chase down the fake court spirits, the individuals that had taken up residence in here in Ashfowler in one of the estates and tried to collect a bounty from one of the estates that had gone untended for some time. And as you helped them get into the vault, took a few things for yourselves, and as they cleaned out the rest, you were charged with tracking them down, returning the valuables to the estate, and whatever else may happen, may happen. As you tracked the fake court spirits south past the Ashen Lake, on their way to Cordath, you stopped in the Ashen Mountains, where you expertly tracked them down to a hidden keep, castle, temple somewhere deep in the mountain range, hidden from view. You were able to fight through a gaggle of monstrosities, different creatures of flesh and elemental concoctions that were thrown together, seemingly almost falling apart at the seams as they were fighting you, eventually making it to this site, this ritual, this giant circle of gold and coin and gems where the fake court spirits were attempting to do something. You were unsure of what at first, but just knew they needed to be stopped. As the ritual continued on and they tried to fight you off, you eventually felled both the fake Gemma and Horus Quartzbeard before they were able to summon whatever it is from a portal to the abyss. Finishing your contract with the broker, he offered you a few extra jobs, things that he had been told about that he was looking for help in getting some more research. You decided to take him up on an offer to head north to Falthier, to head to the waste to investigate a giant crevasse, this giant, almost dead zone where Leiatic energies tends to not quite function. Magic is a little bit odd and off. Somewhere that he had sent people to before, and they had either not returned or at least not reported back. He offered you quite some money and an unlimited time frame, as he didn't quite need it in a hurry, but would hope that you would report back any disturbances, whatever you could find about this giant crack in the wastes in the lands farther north. Knowing you had things to do up north anyway, you decided to take that job. You started heading out of Ashfeller, where you made a few stops along the way. Um, First being Vinteth's hometown, a little place called Morand. A quaint, tiny town surrounded by decaying, decrepit trees, large spiders and webbings. You pushed through and found a town not very lively. You put up your post, you started to explore, you visited the old church that Vinteth used to be the father, the pastor of, the leader of this small congregation. You had met with the current leader of that congregation and started talking about the time when Vinteth left, when there was things that were, you know, a betrayal of sorts where somebody from within or a group from within were attempting to murder Vinteth. Still unsure. Um, But after being able to suss them out and take care of the betrayers, Vinteth sometime later decided to go on his own pilgrimage to find out more information about these betrayers. Um, as you spent some time here in the church, cautious of the new priest, eventually you made a move, and as your hand passed through his ghostly visage, unsure himself what he was, you heard the screams and cackles from the town itself. And in a moment of deep prayer and understanding, Vinteth, you have been trying to reach your God for some time. You received a single message from Soren Lin to run. As you all gathered your horses and carts and made a mad dash out of Moran, hunted by spiders, you could hear the cackling of voices, the screams of terror, as only could imagine what was happening behind you in the city of Morand as you fled further north. You made your way to the coast. You decided to book passage instead of heading to Crowhaven to find an airship. You decided to book passage via ship to try to pass through the symphony to get to Falthier.
Vessel.
You first went for a ship. You
Yes.
interviewed several captains. Um,
And we
but
made the
as
best decision.
choosing experience and time, you went with Captain Schmidt Torin and his distinctively not a ship vessel.
Mm.
Gathering your supplies quickly, you took some time to check in with the Crowhaven, the Crowan uh, guards here to just let them know, hey, something's going on in Moran. Someone might want to go look at that. Before making your voyage across the symphony, skip hopping and jumping, you found your way to the top of a very tall cliff, essentially, as Schmidt had you all leap as you skipped, gained up energy, and skipped across the symphony. Your boat kind of working like kind of like a speedboat, but gaining momentum, gaining different glyphs and runes on the side of it, gaining momentum and gaining the ability to kind of travel along some sort of like Laadic path, cutting straight through and not needing wind or sails or anything else that is unpredictable in the symphony, which you found out immediately as you crossed its borders, and torrential downpours, blizzards, thunderstorms, you name it, you found it here in the symphony. The weather was not the only obstacle as you skipped your way through the symphony. Many of you found yourself cut off from deities and higher beings that you tried to usually connect with, instead replaced by the strong, thundering visage. Sorry.
You okay, buddy?
I got a little bit of a lump in my throat, but I'm good.
Uh,
um, the strong, thundering visage of Workin, the god of storms, who greeted you with minor hostilities and lightning grasp. It's fine. Everything's fine here.
mhm.
But as you continued on your way, making brief connections with Workin, eventually your vessel got knocked off course and crash landed into an island. At the island, you can part of the reason why you crashed is the Laadic line that you were riding on, this that the vessel draws its power from, disappeared. Spent some time searching the island, finding out this dead zone was caused by a large ziggurat-like shrine that was currently being corrupted by this hideous creature, this wastrelith, this snake-like entity with hooked hands and known for just poisoning around the land around it. After a failed attempt to fight the wastrelith the first time, you gather yourselves, tried to rest, created more of a game plan as you went back to deal with the Sahugans and the wastrelith guarding the ziggurat itself, and were eventually able to topple it. Knowing that it would take time for the waters to unpoison themselves, to run cleaner. You decided to explore the ziggurat, to which you found a being, a near death, large, kind of blue skinned individual. Trey Farrell, a water genie of uncertain terms, handcuffed to the bottom of this ziggurat with a portal kind of next to him. He pleaded with you to undo his bindings, allow him to help you restore the portal and restore the water around him to help the ley lines reform themselves. After some deliberation, you freed Trey Farrell. He helped clear some of the water around you to reveal a portal to the plane of water. Though weak it still was, as a bound was on it. Valier, you, after some minor coaxing, use the crossroads, a key, something designed to unlock just that, these doorways to the elemental planes. You meditated on it and eventually striking the right combination of symbols and sigils on the ziggurat unlocked the gate of water. With Trey Farrell's help, he thanked you for your services and told you he had much business to do, but he would owe you in the future. As he said, well, it was time to return this island to where it belonged. To the bottom of the ocean, you all have some time. Get the hell off my island. Uh, as you quickly gathered your ship into a bottle
And
and traversed the entire island to get to a point of height large enough to gain the momentum you needed, you eventually shoved off just as the island disappeared behind you.
and and a phrase that would become very common in our campaign, which is, "I'm sure helping him was the right decision and will not end lead to the end of the world." Hmm.
Nah.
But as you skipped your way through the rest of the symphony, eventually crash landing not quite where Schmidt Torin Captain Schmidt thought he would, because you were far off the ley lines that he had traced and traversed so many times, but still landing on the shores of Falthier. I'm going to pause there. Anyone have any questions? Anything they want to bring up? Anything they want to add before we hop into what is considered the next phase of this grand journey you've all been on?
I'm just saying you got to repeat all that because Jack didn't start streaming.
Oh, he can go fuck himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm good with that, and honestly, I'd be totally fine. I'm happy with the fact that you can still record because I didn't do it always, but sometimes just going back and rewatching a session or whatever, it was nice. Hmm. Sweet.
Mm.
You heard him. He's recording.
Her- How are we supposed to let everyone know what you gotta say before you start streaming now?
Well, before he
Hey,
hits
guys,
record, well,
we
yeah.
have to be courteous. We're gonna do unlisted YouTube videos, and that way Rose can drop all the M bombs she wants.
Hell yeah.
We just sound very schizo to YouTube.
Yes.
I don't think I have any questions.
You're gonna get us demonetized. Hey,
That's right.
We do this for me.
me too. I'll check.
Yeah, I don't think I have any questions.
No.
Sounds just like history.
Nothing. I remember.
I remember.
Burp, not September. Dog, what you... Sorry.
Ah, you're good.
Stop.
So, diving into phase 2. After the party landed on what they eventually were able to confirm was in fact Falthier. Um, at the behest of Schmidt, knowing that he needed some materials to, since he had already had to use his one-time use of Schmidt in a bottle for his vessel, he sent you to what he thought was the nearest town based on the geography that you guys landed in, to a couple days travel to Glaeridon.
Oh, yeah.
Buckle up. This is where shit starts to go wrong again. Um,
Yeah.
but as you made your way over to Glaeridon, you found what was a very large city here in Falthier. It has, multiple shops and magic stores, and of course, several churches to Soren Lynn.
You. Damn it, Joe.
We do.
So. Yeah. We had to pay for all of these damages that we allegedly did.
Allegedly.
Yeah, and I got a very
Team.
expensive suit. That's all I know about that.
Do you remember the suit?
Dude,
Key component.
yep. It was only like 8,000 gold.
True. In campaign,
We were fighting through the debating of the people who are kind of blackmailing us.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we gotta be there for like at least another day, and then we're deciding if we're gonna go gamble.
Artemis Duval.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
that's the mayor of the town trying to ask for 11K for us, but then we ended up offering our
1,500?
services instead. Uh, so he wanted us to investigate some site, like in the desert somewhere.
Yeah, the
Yes,
digs.
I have this here.
Yeah.
2 hours outside of town, the desert
Yep.
was home to archaeological digs, old
Mm-hmm.
arcane civilizations. They found one of the sites. They sent people there a week and a half ago. They did not
Right.
return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just reminded me. Seven needs new shovels before he leaves.
Also,
That's
Vincent, I don't remember what this is referencing, but I know there was some piece of paper I attempted to that you gave me that I cast just a moment on, and it came up blank. I do not remember what that's related to. I did not write thorough enough notes. Oh, I'm sorry. It's in my prior paragraph. It was the paper from one of the bodies of the people we killed, of the Dust Embrace.
Yeah.
And then there were the first 3 letters, FAI, on the paper.
Full intristic
for some
Oh,
meeting
missed.
point of the Death Embrace. That's all we knew, and you would ask the guards to work on that to figure out what FAI might stand for. Although they didn't seem to be too confident in their ability to do so.
All right. So that was the far, far old stuff. Now the easier stuff. This stuff you should hopefully remember mostly. Let's see. Yeah. Lynn and Glaerdan, you met the Death's Embrace. You met a different high priest, Triss, who introduced you to the blood pools, the first church of Soren Lin, the pools of blood that were sights and visions into different aspects of the world. And they were a direct connection to Sorlin as they were pools that were made from her actually being having her blood spilled here in Falthier. We all remember what happens. Vit had a vision. The world was going to end.
There it is.
Um, you got jumped by the Death's Embrace. They told you that you essentially don't belong here, and we're sorry and thank you for sacrifice. As Rory attempted to jump you in his library, a fireball was expertly placed as you all made your way out of Glaerdan at a very hurried pace. Um, um, Not knowing what else to do, took up um, you took up Valir's sister's invitation to hop on an airship and head north because your sister wanted to see you. To head up to Silicon Valley, Valir's homeland. After a couple of thugs tried to jump Suji while the rest of you were out of town, and Suji mercilessly killed most of them. It was bad.
Fuck
Um,
those guys.
yeah.
Shit throwing them off the airship.
Bad for them.
As you made it onto the airship, certain war crimes were had. You were jumped by more of these
On-life engines.
unlife engines, the cyborg assassins sent to seemingly kill Ravi, though this time around they seem to have other plans on who they were targeting mostly, I suppose. Um, Seven, you were able to eat a bunch of them. You gathered information, including um, seeing that they had gained certain abilities, certain technology that some of the group had only just started thinking about. They had not actually made anything yet. Um, Specifically adding thumbs to robot dogs, but we don't talk about the thumbs on the robot dogs.
Yeah. I only ate 12 of them.
But attempting to blow up the ship's battery and crash the entire airship, you were able to throw a bomb off a ship. There was several war crimes that happened in this time, but you were able to save the ship, make your way safely to Silicon Valley, where you were greeted by the Warsanoks, one of the more wealthy families here in Falthier, a conglomerate of textiles, fabrics, silks, um, raw goods, plus the materials made from them that slightly off-putting to some of you at first, especially with your most recent run-ins at Morand. Uh, a town completely integrated with spiders as comrades, as part of the village itself. As you flew into Silicon Valley, almost this dome of spider web had to like retract to allow you entry through the airship. Um, but spiders here, as Valir told you as you got closer, are essentially considered equal equal rights and equal privilege citizens. They work hand in hand. There is a good relationship between the spiders and the people here in Silicon Valley. You met with Andy Warsenok, Valir's father, Miesa Warsenok, his sister. And I'm going to blank on your mother's name because I say it the least.
What's your mom's
Yeah,
name?
yeah, yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I know her name.
Electricity
Look,
son.
It
This is what
is.
we were.
It starts with L, doesn't it? No, I.
mm,
Mm,
I
it,
sounds right.
l- it. Oh my gosh. See, now we're both embarrassed.
Yeah, Valir's mom.
Oh,
Valir's mom.
Ida Lily. Ida
Ida
Lily.
Lily.
Ida
There it
Lily.
is.
Woo!
Holy shit. Nice.
Because I was like, Lily something. No, that don't
You were
sound
getting
right.
you were close, even on that first one.
Oh, you know, I say her name the least, so I forgive myself, but very good. Good call. But you made it to the Warsenok estate and you met with the three main Warsenoks. Valir, your sister, greeted you with open arms and also kind of heavy insults as you were wearing, you know, probably last year's fashion and just not keeping up with yourselves. Um, but eventually you were offered a dinner party with the Warsenoks to greet Valir on his return home with all of his friends, which was crashed by a giant scorpion creature. As one of the spider speakers told Andy Warsenok that the Spider Queen, ugh, that wow, brain frozen. I can remember the end, but not the beginning. Brain's hurting.
Are you looking for help or you just need a minute to think?
I can keep remembering De Orancia, I can't remember the first part.
Oh,
Yeah,
Corpia.
yeah,
There
Oh,
it
you
Corpia.
were
is.
just going for the name.
Jesus
I thought you were forgetting
Christ.
plot points.
Corpia.
No. I was just trying to remember the rest of her name, and like Arancia is
That is
in
the
my
one
brain.
name I will never forget because I remember
Corpia.
specifically, like, bro, we cannot keep calling her the Spider Queen. We have to have a name.
Yeah.
Yeah. But these the spider speaker let crash the dinner party, letting Andy know that the Spider Queen Corpia de Arancia, was calling good on their original deal. That if he would not willingly go along with the transition, that she would have to take matters into her own hands after asking what that meant and what how this deal came to be. Your dinner party was eventually crashed by this multitude of hunter spiders and this large hulking scorpion humanoid creature that took Viesa, dragging her out of the dinner party straight down to the spider's lair. After the incident, Andy came clean, basically saying that he traveled here when he was long ago as a poor traveler. He had nothing really to his name. It was a lot of people who came up to Silicon Valley looking for, before it was Silicon Valley, it was a small outpost that was riddled with spiders and forest, and it was in the middle of the mountains. And he, down on his luck, knowing that people were dying from spider attacks, made his way into the caverns below and cut a deal with the Spider Queen, who pitied him, found humor in him, found some sort of good for making a deal with somebody who could be in charge of the upper world, who seemed genuine, at least at that time, as a poor, desperate man, that she would help him establish a treaty between spiders and the humans above, or the humanoids above, mostly elves, um, that she would teach him essentially how to harvest the silk of spiders and use their goods to start building his empire. To which Andy accepted the deal of the truce and the treaty and the goods in exchange for someday their firstborn, their child together, would take over the Warsanak estate, and he would relinquish himself to her. Your father, being a shrewd businessman, writing up the contract himself, even though at the time he was not quite what he was today, signed the contract, made the contract and the deal, knowing that his firstborn would take over the business. The problem with the deal, and why Arancia had, Corpia had taken this moment to kidnap his daughter, to talk about what is to come, and you found this out as you all traveled down and met with Corpia. Your father's a shrewd businessman. That contract said his firstborn, and he took a trip before signing that contract, made his way to Vertrag, a small, quaint town in the middle of the forest, where he had a firstborn child in the city of Morand. He returned home, signed the contract, laid with Corpia, and fathered a child. Her thinking that that child would be the one to inherit his work, his station, inherit Silicon Valley, and him knowing that he has an out when he needed it. You negotiated, because fuck your father's deal. You wanted your sister returned, and what happened to the Warsanak estate didn't really matter to you that much, Filier. It matters a little bit, but not as much as your family's protection. Corpia had a simple request. Bring me the first child of Andy Warsanak. Bring me Foreign Singol, child of Morand, the quarry that Vinteth is looking for some time. The contract would come due in several months. You had until then to at least send word back that you had Foreign Singal in your captivity, your charge, however you see fit to bring him back, dead or alive. Preferably alive, but Corpia is a realist and understands that sometimes that's just not doable. Agreeing to the terms, releasing your sister, you all made your way back to Silicon Valley to Andy Warsanak and the Warsanak estate, to which you then all, for very good reason, negotiated your own contract with Andy Warsanak. Funds, gold, gems, and a motherfucking airship.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Just for the war crimes.
Just for the war crimes. Outfitting your own airship, getting certain details you wanted. You hired a crew. You made your way knowing that you had a job still to do for the broker, made your way eastward, not directly to the waste, as you've been warned before that airships don't travel well in the uncertainty that is the waste, especially something that's magically inclined. So you made your way to the closest port, the last bastion of civilization. You made your way to Theris. With a brief pit stop in Danaran to see uh, Ravi's father, see where Ravi came from, get attacked by androids. You know how it goes. But made your way to Theris, the city at the edge of the wastes, the last bastion of civilization of Falthier before the lawless and the nomads took over. In Theris, you gathered as much information as you could about the pilgrimage that Zaishori is now ready to undertake, the thing that she had heard about only briefly in her conversations with Elvira, that at a certain point in a tiefling's life, they are not going to say it because I made that mistake before. But at a certain point in tiefling's life, they are visited by a spirit of the lands of their people. I'm not going to say it. You can say it. I'm not going to do it. Um, and basically compelled, not compelled, but like given a beacon, given a directional, like this is how you can return to your home, to your people, to learn about yourself, learn about where you came from, to be with like-minded and like at least blood individuals. Finding it strange that this had never happened for Saishori, even though she is well into her early 20s at this point. Spike strike Elvira is odd, but said, "Well, maybe if you get closer to the wastes, to where Zepharel, the homeland, is, it will happen for you." As you made your way around Theris, you gathered as much information as you could. You met with a familiar friend as Tori Ferdinand Clay happened to be in town having a few drinks. You reached out to him to find out any information you could about, things that are going on back home, things that are happening around here. What was he doing here? Finding out that he was sent to track down Babby, who, after being spooked back in Ashfeller, decided to kind of go on a sabbatical and disappear, not check in for a while. So he was out here trying to locate Babby and bring him back to Ashfeller because the broker, as he often does, had work for him. It was at this time that through a conversation you had with him about a sword you got from Glaerdan, from the master blacksmith out there, a sword that was used only once by Katori and left there with payments left undone, and therefore you were able to get it at a deep discount. He gave you a little bit of insight into the dragon that he talked about slaying, and talked about how he had to he plays the story up as some moment of triumph when realistically it was one of the hardest things he's ever done. Not because killing a dragon is easy, for nobody knows what killing a dragon's like, but it was because it was a friend. It was at this time that you got the revelation that there are, at any given time, 7 archmages that are recognized by Istrafala as the best of the best of their school. And it was during this conversation with Victoria that you found out that the current archmage, transmutation, a man that basically was told, "You can't transform into a thing that hasn't been seen for 50 years," said, "Rabagoran!" as he turned himself into a dragon, but went berserk and had to be wrestled in by his friends. saying goodbye to Katori and letting him know to keep an eye out for certain individuals, for certain movements of this group, the Death's Embrace. Um, you all eventually left your airship behind, unfortunately, knowing you couldn't drive it into the wastes. With your crew stationed here to gather whatever information and intel they needed to move quickly when you return, made your way into the wastes. And after but a few hours, say, Shuri, a voice that has been in your head for some time became a physical form as the embodiment of Draconis, this being that had made himself known to you but a few weeks ago during a time of trouble, a time of need, stands before you as a flaming horse, this kind of dark red skin or fur at that point with a fiery mane. Um, Unsure what the hell that meant. He was here in the real world, not just your head. You're not going crazy. This is a real thing. But he then also told you he had a strong feeling to head in a certain direction, and you kind of made the realization that this was perhaps your guide, someone who will treat you, help you traverse the waste and make your way towards a Pharrell. Did not take but your first night in the waste to realize exactly what you were told. The waste is full of shitty people, all here to make a buck, specifically a group known as the Horn Hunters, or several groups known as the Horn Hunters. These individuals that made their presence known in the waste, waiting for tieflings to traverse through dangerous lands to uh, kill, gather, sell into slavery these individuals that have value to them for how scarce their people are. Um, we found some old friends as Lawrence. um, wow, I'm
Nikolai.
gonna Nikolai. They're the good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
As Lawrence and Nikolai,
That's right.
the the thugs and bandits that you met many months ago, back in the you know around the lake of Ashfeller, had made their way north to try to make some coin, and yeah, you murdered everybody and put their heads on pikes except for those two. Those two you have words for. But once
Mhm.
again, putting them under contract. Nikolai heading off with you, and Lawrence heading back to Theris to gather information to work for you as a spy, as a information gatherer, um, at least until you saw fit to dispatch them. But you made your way through the wastes. You met up with another group of travelers, Brial, and this group of tieflings that were traveling to Zaphrael themselves. Um, Good times were had by most. You were able to meet up with the wizard, the mage, Sunny, um, different retinue of this group. You never saw the tieflings at first, um, as they were afraid. They held in the carriages, but you were able to help each other fend off different wilds and creatures here in the wastes. Um, you decided, for the safety of everybody, to move together, to make your way further north, to make your way to following your guide, as they did not have one. At times, you found obstacle, a cave in blocking your path. Eventually, as you tried to figure out how to traverse it or how to go around or what you needed to do. An ambush, bandits, horn hunters attacked. You were able to fend them off, but not without losing. Uh, it's Grant. Don't matter.
Yeah.
He dead now.
Was-
But not without the death of Grant, the human individual helping the one who's running this kind of caravan of tieflings. He's been doing it for some time to help tieflings find their way to Zephrel once they have lost their guides, with the help of Brial. But as Grant passed, you all even more so now decided to keep traveling together. As you exited the Hell's Pass mountain range and start to make your way into the desert proper. In the evening of a night, you were ambushed once again, but this time by the lead horn hunter, a ruthless individual of the name of Zane, who took no prisoner, who made sure you all knew that if you did not bend a knee, one of yours would die tonight for sure, as he pulled the sword from Ravi's side as he stood next to him. He told you that his price was simple. He was taking the tieflings, all of the tieflings. Not knowing what else to do, you let him. You grit your teeth. You licked your wounds. You lived to fight another day. But you watched as Zane took your courses, your caravan, took Saishori, Brial at his side, and the rest of the tieflings traveling with them. As you licked your wounds and you said, fuck Zane, you called in every ally, every person you knew who could get here in a hurry. And in a fucking meteor storm, Katori Ferdinand Clay came crashing down to the goddamn wastes with Babby in tow.
Talk about an epic entrance, man. It's gonna be hard to beat that. Yep.
You called in favors, you asked for help. Simon from the Hour's Glass came at Viessa's compelling. Katori Ferdinand Clay with Babby in tow, with Sonny, Nikolai, and 3 blind elves. You storm the goddamn castle.
Yup.
Hey. I swear we start with 5.
Did all three die or did one survive?
They're
And we
all
just never
alive.
mentioned it.
Oh, they're alive.
I was
Really?
gonna say I think they all live.
Oh,
right?
I thought
Since
2
you
of
were-
them died. My bad.
Me too.
Or
I thought he
maybe-
died.
That
No,
might be why I
no.
think there was-
Okay, now that I think about it, I'm realizing I think one of them died, but I might be wrong on that too.
I think a majority of them live because that was the impressive part, and the why Vinteth got more followers because
Yeah.
he literally marched them to hell.
Yep. Let's not forget an excellent plan, you know, to convince the tieflings to do this, of course.
That was the second time.
Oh, that's right. We did go first. Yeah.
The first time is when Katori died.
And then we booked it.
Yeah. Yeah. That
When
was
the
a
win-
good first attempt.
When the win condition was save Saishori and the tieflings.
Yep.
We did it. I got huge. I broke a wall. I threw things about people, stuff.
You, cer-
It was
you
great.
certainly did.
Babby was on my shoulder, invisible.
Mhm. So, um, I will now open this part up more for questioning, as this was, I believe, the part that sits more readily in everybody's mind.
Yeah.
Like what happened between the first raid through Zayfarel. So I'm going to open this more up to questionings, and then I will do the final like lead in to get us to where we are currently. So I will leave this part up to questions from you guys,
Got
or just telling stories about what the hell happened here.
mad
Mm.
between the second one. Close the door. I was supposed to die. I didn't. There's an 8 now. We got
Hmm.
the graveyard of all the Warforged, so he is going to put together millions.
Yeah, that was a really cool sequence. I like that entire
Mhm.
thing. I
He's
mean, don't get
gonna
me wrong. Like the whole trip down, not to disregard, Zaishori's plot. That's
Yeah.
been very interesting. But the trip to the graveyard, the fucking layers of Warforged repeating the cycle over and over again, and then our direct connections to it. There was just so much going on in that sequence that
Yeah.
it's.
With the Leaders family, your crest,
Mhm.
and they
Our connection to them, the connection to the cycle that continues to go on
yeah.
every, what is it, 150 years or whatever,
Oh,
and
no.
then,
Every 700 years.
or sorry, 700 years. Yeah, what am I
So
saying?
I
600.
750.
600.
600 years.
No, 6.
Six,
My bad.
six, six.
Hmm.
Yeah, I am 7 and
And
8.
and the
I
fact that the Warforged were the soldiers against whatever these Celestials or whomever were in this conflict
yeah,
that if you remember, we got into some back and forths about that, not like arguments, just debates about like the
yeah.
hell are they doing? Like, are we all just pawns in this giant celestial war of fucking chaos, basically just being used as energy to fuel something?
Yep.
Like I said, I learned that I'm gonna only do stuff for money now on. It's great. I had got programming wiped. Found out my actual age is around nearly 1,500 years. So the cycle was delayed because I was lost for so long. Because I never made it back.
Oh, that's right. You were the general in like 3 of the prior wars, right? I think they said,
Yeah,
or 2 or something.
at least 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't have my notes with me because now I have a physical notebook.
Nice.
I
Yeah,
will, just because I like saying it, I will recap this part a little bit.
yeah,
Um, um, during your meeting with the 5 elders, the Council of Zayfarel, um, you see Yuki Dansik, Leola Brimstone, Mavrin, Grey Tide, Callus, and Rexus Unger. As you were pleading with them to help you in this siege on help you with the siege on Zane to take the Horn Hunters out to make this an easier travel for all tieflings. It doesn't just need to be this group, but for future. Their numbers have been dwindling for years, and this is the reason why.
Mm.
Um, as part of those conversations, when asked what, while appreciating the information you brought them, and asked what standing and what did you have to bring before this court as a reason why you should be listened to other than your current standing. uh your valet, your guide, Draconis, stood up, memories intact. um
Mm. Yes.
Zacchaeus Reardan Draconis Infier, the speaker of doubt, the creeping word, the final thought, introduced Saishori as the last of a bloodline, the the unmentioned, the forgotten sixth lord of hell, Zelemon, and that if anybody has a right to speak in front of these fuckers, is Shori and her real world application, as half of them haven't left this place in God knows how fucking long. But revealing his true form, a red skin, horned, winged creature, not his horse form or his nightmare form. Remembering a little bit who he is and the master he serves and why the fuck he was here in the first place. So sure you have a reason to be here, and you have a reason that these fuckers need to listen to you. And listen, they did. As you convinced them to let you take the fucking tapestry. Plans were made, armies were moved. You made your way back to the mountains to where you know Zane has been dormant for at least the last month as you all prepared and did your own research and development in Zepharel. You stormed the keep. They were prepared, but you were more prepared. As a wave of army of Zepharel's finest, led by Rexus Unger and Leola and the rest of you, made your way into the keep proper, knowing what you would face. Not just Zane, a human horn hunter, but a goddamn demon. Battle ensues, and with the help of Babby and Sunny, you all were able to weaken, to bring low Zane for a chance, an opportunity to fulfill a deal and seal this fucker away. As you were given options of what you could possibly do from the council, but you had one more thing in your back pocket, a ritual. Something that if you could get Zane onto, get him low, and have the right catalyst and the right prison, a way of putting him away for a long time where he would not come back from his death. And a deal with Armangor. The man inside the gem, the voice in Vintef's ear for the last several months, a dragon's blood gem meant for power, designed for holding. And what you later found out was very valuable in the thing that the fake quartz beards all those months ago were looking for in that ritual. Decided to play a little bit of switcheroo. Due to some expert stitching from Valir using his background in history with textiles, you developed rugs with a seal on it that you could roll out, and in a pinch, you could hold him there. You just get Zane on there with the gem and enough magical essence, you had a shot. And it was a full team effort with pushing, with 7 grappling in giant form, with just absolute mayhem. Like the amount of damage Saishori put out in that last 2 rounds was absolutely insane.
That That was a crazy ass fight for sure.
Yeah.
That was a really good one.
Um,
The whole like set, and it was just like very anime too, with the final setup of the sequence of mages with the magic into the seal, man. Like, it was good shit.
That was so good. It
it
did.
certainly
Hell yeah.
And I fulfilled my promise to Nikolai and kept him alive.
you did.
I won't lie,
Um,
doing the math on all the spell slots and shit was like stressful as fuck.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Suji's having the best time of his life while we're fighting for our lives here.
True.
Yeah, he's just over there floating away.
I was fucking up all the recruits because we kept rolling a 4.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember the number just because it came out until they get done.
Yeah. Oh no, that was before.
But you were eventually, as a chamber that was once boiling hot, ran cold, you all stood and watched as where Zane once was, a skeletal figure, a large kind of thin and wispy being with a face that was mostly gaunt, with a large kind of thick rimmed cowboy hat, stood before you as Armangor thanked you for your service and fulfilling your side of the deal. And what felt like a moment suspended in time, he greeted you and said and told you that while he appreciated what you did and his powers slowly regaining, he had business to tend to. His domain had been his domain had been usurped for too long, and fate needed to be separated from luck, and a goddamn casino needed to be brought back.
Gamble.
Yeah, buddy.
He left you with a final boon and a rough estimate of where you could find him, knowing that once he got back what was his, the imminent downfall and the running dry of a bloodline would come next.
Them Crest guys going to die.
But as he left you there, you had other things to deal with, as even though Zane had fallen, the portal still bleeding demons into this world was open. And you quickly found out that what you had thought you knew wasn't correct, as what was the body of Leola Brimstone was simply an illusion.
Evil.
And as you rushed to confront her, the tapestry undone, her scathed and wounded, Rexus revived from his mind control and brought back from the dead that you left him at. Leola, kind of fed up in her own way about the way the world of tieflings was going, decided to take it into her own hands and cut them off from the world, left you with a unenchanted tapestry as she dove into a pit of the abyss, which, being practical, you all thought for a second jumping in, but then decided, let's just seal this for now and deal with this later.
Yep, that is a later problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
And neither are the tieflings.
Yeah.
Sorry, too soon.
Yep.
In the to-do pile.
Uh,
But the tieflings have a new home now. We should look at this as a positive. Sure, they can't go to their real home, but now they get to make that mountain fortress into their home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the horn hunters mostly gone. A retinue of almost 100 strong here. You left Elvira, Rexus, Suji, not Suji, sorry, Blution, the other one. Um,
I think you
you
should have
let
said yes to our invite. Give Chris the double up. Huh?
uh,
Heck
you
yeah.
you left Blution, Elvira, Rexus here to help guide, to help rebuild what they had, and to hopefully look into a way of restoring the portal back to Zepharel. Y'all made your way triumphantly into some degree, but with great losses in others, back to Theris, where you met up with your crew. You met up with Lawrence and decided it was time to make your way westward. The shores of Nelphine called. There was things to find, an underground market to potentially find your way into, the last known whereabouts of Sepharis Jezerlog. And fly you did. Took your airship, and you headed westward. And now I can say officially, picking up where we left off.
Oh man.
Heck yeah.
The party landed in the coastal city of Ganon. The hustle and bustle of the free Nelphine, an area where it does not matter your species, your race, your creed, your religion, all are welcome here in Nelphine. It is the most open trade and enterprise here in Zelenkov. You can see it immediately as the different hustle and bustle of people running about. You were greeted by all manner, and you knew this a little bit by your crew who are from Nelphine, the menagerie of beast folk that run your ship. Um, bonus points to anyone who can name a person on the ship.
Shit.
Ha ha!
There.
Dasheen?
Oh, I got you. It is
Powder monkey, because Suji's a monkey. He can say that.
uh
That's his position. Do you know his name?
All right.
Stab one
I
again.
I found
Honor.
them in my notes, so I'm not gonna name them because now I have all of them in front of me. So I'll just see if you guys remember. Do you just want my notes? Obviously, they won't have all your stuff, but I could just give you my notes. So,
Captain Roxanne Dillamar, the tiger-striped tabaxi female, her first mate, Vince Sinclair, the teal-scaled dragonborn, who
It's
may or may not have had a run-in with.
oh yeah, he fucked Sepharis, right?
yeah.
mhm.
I forgot about that.
Sure did.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Hey,
Yeah,
might
he
be up
did.
for.
Silver Magoran, the powder monkey. He's a monkey beast folk. Um, Tegan Brightspot, the turtle chef.
Oh, Tegan.
Tegan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yup.
Bryn Joran, the Arakokra eagle lookout.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Sheen, the beast folk lizard folk that Saishori almost killed in the middle of her dreams. Um,
It happens, you know. It
and
happens.
Timid Longstrider, the bunny folk crew member,
Yeah.
as well as Seven. Do you remember their names?
God damn it. It's the
Uh,
2 other war forts that are made of little things. One's little and one's a bit bigger.
There are 3
There's
automatons.
three of
Three.
them.
Yes.
God damn it.
One of them has a
Like,
name I'd expect you might remember. The other 2, I sincerely doubt you're gonna remember. Because they're like Star Wars names.
yeah.
Like R2D2.
Nah, no, god damn it.
the
Oh,
first one's a pun. Technically not. It's a Spanish word.
Puto.
It's 2 letters.
Let's see.
It's KS.
Okay. All right, guys.
It's
Oh,
KS, widget, and
I
Widget,
remember
THZ.
widget. That was
with
the
it. 'Cause I thought
Yeah, same.
yeah, don't know.
He does
Oh,
have a
He's
number.
the only chaos on this ship. He doesn't need the numbers, I guess.
no, because those are one of the newer ones made by what's her face. They reconstructed them from plans they found. Now I have different ones.
Hmm.
So, in the city of Ganon, as
I'm
you
getting
landed
there.
with your ship, you docked here, um, paying for a few days as you weren't sure how long you were going to be. Um, dear God, we weren't here long, but so much shit happened.
Oh, Justin Gannon? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a
yeah,
lot
a
went down in
lot.
this town. Yep.
Valir, you were stopped on a street.
hmm
For a nice
Sure
chat.
was. Like freaking Braxton.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes, you were stopped in the street by Braxton, the up and coming, the next heir of the rival, say rival, a fellow textiles company set in for Trag, um, but also of a family that you found suspicious dealings in Morand and having to do with your family. Um,
Phyrexy.
Varaxes, yes. You He noticed you right away by your threads and whatever information he might have had about you. He introduced himself. He wanted to make sure you were finding your way great here in Ganon, that you had probably hadn't been here in a while, and wanted to make sure you were taken care of, and that you were. He noticed also that you're wearing more recent threads at least, and he
Mhm.
appreciated that. But he could spot a worse knock from a mile away. You're unsure if he meant the clothing or you, but hey, that's what we're here for. Um, he let you know by when you asked him about the underground auction, the kind of, hey, if you head to the auction house and kind of just, you know, let them know who you are. Like, just be upfront about it. They'll let you in. There's no problem. You got this. Um, but understanding, like, not knowing that he had been kind of taking more over the role of, like, where his, father was, he wanted to make sure, like, hey, he would love to start setting up conversations, like working more together instead of against each other here in the fabric industry. Like, there's so much room for us to collaborate. He offered you an opportunity to, like, you have your people call my people, and then you asked him about one of his servants, somebody who used to work for your father that had gone to the Faraxi estate at some point, or the Faraxi business. And he's like, "Oh, I don't recognize the name, but please let me look into it for you, and I can let them know. Let's see if they're still around." Um, Bidding you a farewell, and on your way, you decided to go check out uh, Troyce at the Silvered Griffin, one of
Mhm.
the finer establishments in town. Um, After decking Seven out in a full, very expensive suit and getting multiple different accoutrements to the party themselves, you were able to barter for information about individuals who may or may not have something here, have been here before to buy fineries. With the right amount of coin, persuasion, and veiled threats, you were able to convince Choice to let you know that he has, in fact, taken a commission and several commissions in the past for Sepharis Jezerlog. That he had been here previously with members of the Borisilka family and used that connection to continue to come back to request fineries of certain ilk. And he is currently set to come back in a few within the month was the overall, but he expected him sooner to pick up a set of fine, like royal attire of he wasn't quite sure which, but one of the royal house of Cordow. Kind of like a rich blue and kind of like a blue and whites, I believe, if I remember correctly. But
Shades of royal blue.
there we go.
Yeah.
Um, After some convincing, you told him to send word to one of your if you aren't here, to send word to an operative that you would have staying in town for when he was set to come pick up these garbs. To which you were already training Lawrence to stay here and gather information and stay behind if you guys had to leave. After finishing your business at the Silver Griffin, you were jumped in the crowded streets of Ganon as several monks of the Death's Embrace, dressed in plain clothes, pop some of your kidneys. Stuns were had before you could realize what was going on. Vinteth, as your body was locked in place, you heard a familiar voice saying, "This doesn't belong with you." As a familiar book was picked off your person by none other than Rory, the head of the Death's Embrace. As he slipped off into the crowd and you dealt with the rest of his monks, keeping us several alive, but also murdering people in the streets because you were jumped first. That's just how it goes. Um,
Happens.
you were able to bring back a few survivors, unfortunately not being able to track down where Rory disappeared to in the crowd. As you interrogated the individuals, yeah, as you separately interrogated the two monks that you had, they seemed zealous in their beliefs that they were following a greater good, that they were here to finish something that needed to be done, and Rory was leading them towards whatever this final judgment, this final pass was. Um, as you began to shake their belief and try to get them to talk further about whatever plan they had, as they smiled and looked at you separately, and as we hurtle towards the valley of death, we will not be afraid. We will walk ever forward. For she is not the end, but the beginning, and at the beginning there was nothing. As soon we will be arms outstretched to embrace death. As they bit down on some sort of poison that quickly filled their mouths and their body as they went limp and dead in your arms, not ready to let them go. Vinteth, you attempted to bring one back, and you watched as something on their chest scorched and screamed, a sigil locking their souls away and sending it somewhere else that wasn't to the mother, keeping them from being revived. But anyway, that happened.
Mhm.
You were approached by town guard, and specifically Artemis Duval, the armadillo beast folk mayor of this here city. And look, Artemis doesn't want any trouble, and he understands things happen. But you understand that you killed people in the middle of the streets, and I just need to make sure that that's not going to happen. So I look, I don't want to put these warrants out for your arrests.
This fucking guy.
So you made a deal with Artemis Duval, mayor here of Granite Canyon, that he had some business outside of town at one of these archaeological digs. That if you would go investigate, he had a crew that went out there about a week and a half ago. They haven't come back. They haven't sent word. If you can find the foreman, find one of the people, find the maps and things that they had gone there with, and bring it back to me at least. These warrants can go away. I believe you. We're going to investigate, of course. We believe what you're telling us, but we gotta keep Gannon safe. As you agreed to this, he brought out a fully already written contract, um,
Nothing
stipulating
suspicious about that at all.
he's a man of opportunity, and he saw one. Basically detailing the fact that, as long as you are here in Gannon, your ship cannot leave. But as long as you do this task for him, he will make sure that this investigation will be done within the confines of Nelthenian law, and make sure that y'all aren't held down by any of these warrants for arrest or any bounty hunters that might come after you. Or he would hate to send this out to the world at large. But as long as you do what he needs you to do, these can go away. Um, Stuck between a rock and a hard place, you signed Artemis's little contract, agreeing to go investigate the ruins about an hour or two outside of town. But not wanting to wait until the trail went cold, you also decided to take some time to investigate what you could about the information you had from the Death Embrace members here in town. You had a piece of paper that you got off of one of them, that using just a moment, Ravi, you were able to repair the piece of paper, but strangely it resisted some of the magic to actually bring it back to its full form. You were able to find a few letters. Asking around, a couple of options from some of the guards here and some of the information from your crew that you're able to find out. Places matching those few letters in town. God, there's like one, like it's like a fishmonger's place down by the docks. The Fail and Tail dispensary, I believe it was. You were given the name of the Think King Inn, which is off in um, uh, Dorsier, which is another town further inland in Nelfine. But those are the only places that any of the people you talked to gave you. So, only having one lead here, you gathered the party, you made your way to the docks. And that is where we will pick up for the rest of tonight. Party, have your
Oh boy.
conversations.
It was like failing lore or something like that.
Yeah, let me pull that up real quick.
1 second. I got it. Go back.
Go get down. Otis, come on. Get down here. Come here. Come here.
I believe it's
Oh, I
FAI.
got him. Yeah, I think it's that.
Yeah, I have FAI.
Yeah, because I think that was like their meeting spot or meeting point for them. So we were trying to figure out like where that was, and then, well, at least in my notes, I have like one of the spots was called the failing lord that's in the docks or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, failing. The failing lore.
Lord, there you go.
Oh, Roche, I have a question.
Yes.
So I have in my notes that I got a dagger from like the elders.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
I I don't remember what it was supposed to do.
That was the sealing dagger. That if you wanted
Oh,
to,
that was the
could have been used.
backup plan.
Backup. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one that, if you needed to, could have been used to potentially seal away an individual. However, it would have been a contest of wills to see if you could overpower them to send them to uh, the prison that Calrus oversees.
Ye-
So that was given to you as like an option of like, if you can't seal him away and we don't want to kill him, you can attempt to send him to me. Really creepy smile.
Yeah, that creep.
Oh yeah, that guy going do some stuff if we had
Yeah,
sent his
yeah,
way.
yeah.
That's for
Yeah.
sure. We don't know what stuff, but he's going to do some stuff.
Mm-mm.
I will give you a minute to discuss. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, and then we will pick up from there for a little bit, and then pick up from wherever we get to next time.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. The- I guess we're going to the mines. Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Holy shit.
oh, interesting.
What do you mean? Joe, you gave me a whole bunch of books that did a whole bunch of that. Vivisect.
So,
It was in a
crew with.
couple of. Sorry.
Oh no, no, you're good.
It was just.
I was making a
It was
joke.
in a couple of Dean Koontz books. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Robin. Well,
You're good. So I was just saying. So, what do you guys think that you put the odds on here? That that crew we're going to find, we're definitely bringing back bodies, aren't we?
Possibly,
yeah.
but we kind of have a pass for the mayor now to do kind of what we want. Kind
That's true.
of.
Diplomatic understanding might be a little bit more accurate. I wouldn't say, unless you consider, I guess in this town we would be immune if we had another, 40 or 50,000 gold on us, probably.
Maybe.
But
I mean, he did give us those passes. Anything we do, we could just say it's our mission work for the mayor.
that's true.
Yeah.
It's kind of our get out of field free card right now. It's always you, Vincent. Somehow, everywhere we go, something always happens to you, and you're always on the ground getting robbed somehow. Every time. Hmm.
Well, it sounds like you already have a solution to your problem. If he opens it, d- he becomes goop. Well, Seven just shrugs. Mm.
Look, we have a lot on our plates. Let's investigate. Let's find these bodies or people, get them back to town, and we can get out of here before our good friend the mayor has the chance to extort us anymore. We can leave Nikolai and Lawrence here to do their work and hope that they can stay safe and tracking. Wait, was that Seferis or no?
No, it's the Ferris.
That was Seferis. Okay, the one who came
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
closed
yeah,
shop.
yeah,
I
yeah.
keep getting him confused with oh my
Foreign.
god, Foreign.
Yep.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, last
Mhm.
just yeah.
Yep.
Florence and Golf for your last knowledge was stuck in Cordath trying to seek an audience with the kings there.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't mention it, but y'all remember something's going on with Broker. Whatever that
Yeah.
is, it's up to you guys to
Yeah.
figure
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no
He's
way to
going.
forget that crazy ass shit with the
Yeah.
fucking mind control papers and the nonsense.
You know, it's been a couple months. Just figured out throw it back out there. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
shit happened.
He's going insane, man.
I just cared too much. Well, before we go recover the bodies, do we need to restock before we head out?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we've. I don't know about the rest of you, but I definitely have surprisingly, some potions left from our fight. Nikolai gave us back, a lot of what he was holding.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
could have
find
caught
some
up with him.
leads.
Yo, I need to.
I know we were only there for a day, but it feels like we just spent months in that town.
Yeah.
Yes.
To be
Very
fair,
well.
you're still here.
See, I've already mentally considered us leaving.
Uh,
Mentally, I am in the ruins. Hmm.
Well, I mean,
Let-
if you guys are ready, I guess we're ready to travel to see what the heck
I think
is
so.
in this
Oh, wait.
desert.
We've got
Yes.
something very important to do before we leave. I will find a good location, like for wherever, because we're on the ship, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You guys were
I-
currently on your way to the failed lore. That's where we left off. Technically,
Oh,
On our
you
way
had
to what?
not gone.
Sorry?
You had not gone to the failed lore yet. That was where we left off all those months ago,
yeah, 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 yeah.
which was
Mm. As you were pricking yourself, I'm going to say, if your fucking blood does something to that paper when literal time magic didn't, I'm going to be a bit upset.
you watch as your blood seeps into the paper. No effect. There's some blood stains on the paper now.
Ruining things. Oh, let me see.
No. I mean, I'll ask you: do you want to go to the failed lore, or you just want to get onto the desert?
What is that again?
It It said, yeah,
Oh, FAI. That was the
yeah,
first
yeah, yeah,
speculation. Got
yeah.
it. Got it. Okay. Yep. Yep.
We're assuming that was like their meeting point or somewhere. That's why we wanted to get there kind of to the docks
All right.
with haste.
As you have this conversation, leaving the mayor's, abode, you start to make your way to the docks, and it does not take long asking around, knowing the name of the facility you're heading towards. You are pointed on the docks to this kind of compared to the rest of Ganon, very much like our rundown shack of a business. Like this is a single story, maybe 10, 15 feet by 10, 15 feet room essentially. Thatched roof. There is a slightly hanging off of like a chain sign that just says the failed lore. It has a picture of like one of those like um weird like catfish lures with like the fuzzy tails on it.
Okay. I know exactly what that is. Got him. Oh, I want to go fishing.
Gone fishing.
Gone fishing. Ah. All right, we're going. All right. Well, I don't disagree with you there, Vinteth, but we should probably
Are
look
you
for.
are you going to burn down every place to the ground that starts with FAI? Is that the current plan?
No,
Let's
it's,
let's do this.
oh,
All right.
yeah.
Making your way inside.
Yeah.
You gotta refresh.
You refresh it. It's open. Making your way inside, the first thing that hits you is the smell. This is a small bait shop, so it's a very small shop, but there's just all manner of night crawlers and kind of like smaller, questionably old fish, just kind of on racks and rims. There's hooks and reels kind of lining the walls. It is for lack of a better term, the budget bait shop in town.
Hmm.
Best one, you mean?
I mean, it depends on who you're talking to.
Okay.
Making your way inside, there is a kind of slightly hunched over, dirty, like brown apron on lizard folk who is just this kind of like long snout, curved at the end, rows of jagged teeth. Their hair is on top, kind of braided into a ponytail. Um, as you all walk in, he like does the best impersonation of a smile this mouth can do.
Oh
Um,
boy.
but just all teeth, just like, oh, good afternoon. What can I do for you?
I would like to return his smile. So yeah,
We're fishing, all right.
Well, if you're thinking about going fishing, you are in the right place. Please, welcome. Come in. Welcome to the failed lore. I obviously have, I start pointing at the walls. I have all manners of fishing rods, baits, tackle, line, different, depending on, are you going big game fishing, little fishing, little just sitting on the docks? What can I help you with? Smile creeps. Give me a God, I know your intent. Give me an intimidation check. There's no other
Oh,
answer here.
snap. Bruh.
Oh yeah.
That
Sounds like the dice
0.
wanted to tell the tale there.
Ooh-wee. Oh, fishing for people is not usually something I am in the market for. It's mostly this is a dockside bait shop. Is there anything else I can help you with? No, I'm sorry. I haven't seen any elven individuals since at least not meeting that description. You're the first elves I've seen in a long time.
See, there. Could I do one?
Yeah, yeah,
Insight
Yeah.
check.
Nope.
bro,
Yeah.
bro, bro.
We
Okay. All
gotta
right.
knock
Yeah.
the
Fuck it.
cobwebs off.
I'm joining in. I got
Yeah,
this. I don't got this.
Holy
Is
shit.
that the third one? Jesus Christ.
All right.
I
Okay.
really rolled a 1.
Yeah. 'Cause now
Welcome
I'm
back.
using my current role. Uh,
Ventef. Um, this individual is lying through his very crooked teeth. Uh, no, I can't. I can't say I have. Not that they've come in here to buy bait.
as he's talking, I am going to pull out the paperwork the mayor gave us and just kind of, hand that over to Vinteth. As my friend here is about to show you, we are officially licensed by this town for investigation of particular crimes. And I would hate to see the results of those crimes have any ill will upon this shop. I'm sure you'd like business to continue operating as usual, wouldn't you?
Hmm. I will say you can give me either intimidation or persuasion. They would have been at disadvantage. I'll cancel that out with the help from Ravi here.
Nice.
So straight roll.
Yeah, grab a drink. Beardy.
Good.
Oh, look, I'm I'm just trying to run a business here. No need to get violent. He looks at the paperwork. Hmm. A decree from the mayor, I see. Um, maybe I was a bit hasty in my. You said, Elvin gentlemen. I misunderstood what you said.
Oh, of course.
Um, well, if it's just for the greater good of Ganon and for the mayor. You watch as he like spins around. You can see like his large like lizard tail just kind of like swacks into the wall. Like, God damn it! It's pulling things out. He's like, um, I may have made a trade with some individuals that were coming to town, and they were looking. He pulls out this giant like box and just puts it on the table. Um, uh,
Excuse me.
of course, it is helpful to a city-run investigation. This is clearly something I do not need to hold on to. He kind of like pushes it towards you.
Mm.
Oh, this is what they gave me. Clothing mostly. I gave them passage and clothing. I would say anybody in this moment can give me I'm gonna call it an insight check. But anybody in the room can give me an insight check.
Shots.
Too many dice.
I see nothing.
I might.
Stinks in here. I'm too distracted.
There's too many new things I haven't seen.
um, Ravi and Zaishori, as he's kind of having this conversation with Vinteth, and he's talking about passage. You watch his eyes kind of dart to the corner of the room where there's kind of this like large, looks like a bucket of like slop and like what's called chum, like just a very. It's probably where the biggest part of the stench in the room is coming from. But you see his eyes kind of like dart there for a second, and then come back to Vinteth and go, "Well, yeah, they asked for more clothing that kind of more locals." And the passage to destination outside of town.
While Vinteth talks to him, I'm gonna go look at the bucket.
Yeah, I'd like to go investigate the bucket.
Ravi and Saishuri, either individually or one of you with advantage, can give me investigation checks.
I'm down for the fun
Whoops.
roll. We could both do it.
Whoops. That was an accident.
Look, I am just trying to run a business. I have given you the box of their clothing and the things that they gave me. It was a fair trade. They gave me clothes, I gave them clothes back. Um, as he's talking to Vintef, Zaishori, as you and Robbie go over to the bucket, um, like the smell hits you and you're able to kind of like push past it for a second. Zaishori just kind of like giving it a glance over. Um, the floorboard that this bucket is on top of can clearly be picked up like almost a trapdoor.
Mhm.
Sick.
Like it's pretty well hidden. You can see the seams though. You're like, those floorboards don't connect to anything real.
I'll just nudge Ravi.
And I will just lean in and whisper, yep, I see it. So you think he lets us get in there without us having to restrain him?
Who knows?
Um, I will just, I guess there's no real need to be subtle. I'll just yell over to Vintef. Vintef, might have an idea of where those fine elf friends of ours went. Two.
Uh, you find 7 sets of death embrace robes.
So that answers our question. They had probably had other. Oh no, because that was them before they met up with us. Okay.
Yeah.
Did we kill 5? I'm just trying to see if our numbers match. You guys get me? If there was
Yeah.
one we didn't account for that maybe was hidden or something. I'm trying to
Well, you
remember how many we killed.
Yeah.
How many we killed in town? We killed 4? Sorry, this is me out of character. I can't remember how many we killed in town.
uh, yep. You ended up killing 4. You 2
Okay.
almost got away, and then Suji tracked them down and pecked their eyes out as an eagle. We don't talk about that.
Birds are allowed to commit crimes. It's
So
fine.
so based on this clothing, that means there's 1 unaccounted for, right? Because 4 killed in town,
Or
2
that'd be
we brought
Rory.
with us, which would be Rory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rory. Yep.
I'm gonna attempt to open the door.
Give me a strength check. You,
You're
Saishori, explain to me how you absolutely ripped the cover off of this door.
I decimate it.
Here's the question: do you move the stinky ass bucket first, or do you just let it rip?
It rips. It's flying.
Okay, as you just rip the cover off of this trap door, the bucket goes flying, goes just covers him in chum. It's like God, ah, ah, ah.
Somehow the muffled mic just made that so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
better.
Oh my god.
Oh no! How did that get there?
All right. Now 7 is getting irritated. It's like, so when can I eat him now? I've eaten.
You don't want to eat me. I'm mostly scale and bone, and I'm covered in chum.
So let's see what.
He is.
All
He
right.
does
All right.
smell rather awful now, Seven.
I don't have that sense. Let's see. We eating a wasp,
Please don't let it. Look.
Goldilocks.
Look. You have found the tunnel. I am. You have clothing that is yours. That is all I gave them.
Yeah, but we.
I am nothing but humble business owner.
Oh,
2. They seem to be very much in a hurry. I only met the one individual. He came to me with piles of clothes, and I traded to him.
yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I'm not sure.
He was how do I he wasn't he was elf. He was more like him.
What am he isn't he?
He's pointing at Suji.
Oh, Suji.
Yeah, much of the drow, dark elf.
Don't know. Can I try to remember?
If you've met another drow elf,
Yeah.
We have.
Oh, I'm trying to
Hold on, let
remember
me
back
check the
to.
notes. I don't remember.
Cause
I
that
am trying just to remember back to the first run we had when we were at their temple before it caught on fire. Okay.
he was the one who traded me the clothes. Stein. Steisengrad, the fishmonger.
Did he say Steisengrot? Interesting. That's cool. Steisengrot. Steisengrot.
Sounds about right.
Slash maybe lunch. Just
I
wasting so
covered.
much of their time.
I'm covered in chum.
Yeah.
I am already humiliated enough. She
Oh,
threw off the chum
yeah.
bucket.
Oh, and oh,
Do you think I choose? I did not choose to be covered in chum.
It's hilarious to imagine that in context of Vintef literally watching that happen. Like, wait, how'd you get covered again?
it, it,
Fucking
she'll-
hilarious.
things went fine. We don't know our own strength sometimes. It's fine. It's fine.
Look, if I were to say out of town, would you still eat me?
Yeah. This is why I'm considering eating you, just because you're being a little evasive, and we have things to do, and you were impeding that,
I
and I haven't
understand.
learned patience yet.
The tunnel, as you can see, leads out of town, and as he points, he grabs a fishing rod next to his desk. How is this for invasive? And he pulls it and just trapdoor.
He falls
Yes,
wait through that trap or a different. I thought you meant a different trap door.
it
For
is
a
a different
second.
trapdoor.
It is a
Oh
different
my
trap.
Oh.
god! This
Oh
fucking
my
guy.
gosh.
Can I
You all hear a splash.
Oh
water?
god damn it!
Uh,
I knew I
well,
should.
Well, I guess the good news is, if we want it, we've got a shop in town now.
it's true. Yeah, I'm definitely
I did.
curious to see. Take a closer look at these robes. I'm thinking maybe I could find who makes them, kind of find where they're all located at.
It's a good idea. No one even considering jumping in the water after him. Then just making sure.
Uh,
I thought about it because, like, I'm pretty sure I could capture him, but I just want to get to the tunnels and then get to what did you call it? Casino?
Oh yes, we will be visiting Mr.
It-
Gore.
I yeah.
I
I think he's just a regular scum. I don't.
You
d-
Armand Gore? Oh, you mean the guy who
No.
jumped in? Yes.
Yeah. Sizing drop.
Stein. Right.
Yeah, he's just regular.
DM, quick question.
Yes.
So leading up to the dock, right? Did we? I guess would I know kind of like what direction, like dock? Is it like just like wall here, and then the only way the water goes is like we're outside his store, or is like kind of the store are surrounded by water?
Um, he is kind of on the water towards the edge of the dock. So, I mean, if he hit the water, he can go either left or to open sea. Those are his options.
Can I run out and just run on the water? Because I forgot I could do that just to quickly see if I could see him splashing anywhere.
Yeah, sure. Give me a perception or they call it perception or survival. Your choice of stat here.
I'll do perception. 26.
26.
We're good.
So as he drops, you hear the splash. You all kind of look at each other. Valir, you dip out the front and just start running out onto like you all watch out the front door as Valir like takes a step off the dock, and you're like, Valir, what are you doing? And you don't hear the splash. You just watch Valir go over the cross of the top of the water. Valir, keeping an eye out. You clock 26. You see him. He is swimming, but he is fully amphibian, like probably a good 40 to 50 feet under the water, and just like
Okay.
just you can see his tail full moving, and he's just dipping as far out to sea as he can go. So you could track him, but he is not like he does not need to come up for air.
Damn, okay. He's a speedy one.
Ah,
All right. Fine.
well, now I have an idea, but I don't think it's gonna work anymore. I don't need to breathe ever. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I
So
can't. I
how
do
far
have
is he
to.
from me? From the surface? He said he's underwater, right?
He's underwater. He probably swam a little. Like he's a little ahead of you because he got to jump on you, and he's about 50 feet under the water, just kind of swimming out to sea.
I do have a swim speed that's equal to my walking speed.
Do you think we'll get anything more out of him?
All right. Well, if he wants to come back, I will instead just start dumping all the bait down there to attract fish, to attract bigger fish, to attract bigger fish.
Oh my god, that's actually kind of devious.
You already said the place smells, so do I need to roll anything to dump bait?
No.
All right, we're throwing all the bait down there. He's not coming back for days. It's just, the smell will just get worse. You guys have an issue with it, so we're pushing all of it in there. Yep. We all seen him do it, right? Water. Oh, that one, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You want just look in it for like maybe an hour and then head back and then do what we got to do.
Are we taking the clothes?
Yeah.
Might as well.
You know what? I'm taking a fishing pole.
I mean, I would say take whatever you want, but there's really not
You
much
know-
of value here.
You know what, Seven?
Mhm.
That sounds very relaxing. We can do that in our spare time, and I take like the best looking one I can see, like before we head down there.
I take
Is there
3.
anything in the register?
Amazing. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
We just spent months
whoa.
fighting that exact kind of
Wow.
racism in this world.
You know what,
Thank you
Vin?
very much.
Bad. And he gets wanted.
Say,
Don't you dare judge Zaishori for what 80% of her people are like. Oh, you didn't let me finish. Damn it.
I'm glaring at him. Fuck you, been tough.
sure, give me a D100 roll.
D100. Oh, that's different. Okay.
He's got 7 gold.
All right.
Damn.
I will take
Big
that
money.
7 gold.
Guys,
Give
2
me that
more of
big
those.
money.
We're in.
Yeah, that's so fucking petty. I love it. I'm fucking taking 7 gold. It's just a totally irrelevant sum to us at this
Right.
point.
You take a 7 gold, you dump all of his bait into the ocean, and just take his fishing rods.
Be
Yeah.
Maybe
funny.
Nikolai and Lawrence will
You
like
know
the
what?
shop.
Why not? If everyone's going to be fishing, I'm not going to be the only one not fishing, and I will also grab a rod.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, might as well.
It's like,
Okay, I guess I'll
Might
also
as
grab
well.
one.
all right, go lean in rough. Like, airship can get close to water though, right?
Not particularly.
All right, I'll get in the biggest with the biggest reel. I don't care.
All
Get
right.
some lures.
It's something. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna make myself a tackle box for the next 10 minutes with my magic paint. Yeah.
Ah!
Attack one.
Tunnel. Okay, let's. wait, Yeah.
Cool. All right.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah, you did start offering money by the end.
No. I spent too much money already. The suit was very expensive. How did I not get hit? As I just start shaking off my clothes a little bit. Oh,
Okay, for
cool.
quickness.
The
What
quickness.
is the marching order going down this single file tunnel?
Yeah. Yeah. That tracks. It's fine.
I
I'll
think
be up front.
we have kind of a standard formation at this point, right? Like,
I think so.
Yeah.
The squishies are usually next to Saishuri.
yep. And
Yeah.
then Vinteth in the middle for Spirit Guardians. I'm kind of next to him usually, so I can do tiny
Yeah.
shenanigans.
Hence why I asked, what is the marching order down the single file tunnel?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, true. You did pretty explicitly state that, huh? Didn't you?
I think
That's great for 2x2s. Single file.
the leader's the best. All right, so we're fine. I'm looking.
I'm back. I took a rod.
Yeah.
So
So is
7,
that
me, Vinteth.
No. 7 Vinteth. You will say
Robbie?
yeah. Ravi, Suji, then you.
Yeah, I could be less.
Works for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Because worst case scenario, I will make this tunnel 2x2.
Oh my god.
I know masonry. I can do it.
No,
I can
that's
make.
the funny part is like for a lot of characters it's a joke, and for you it's not. You
Yep.
could probably if you
No.
wanted to.
I've had pickaxes. I've had shovels. I'm pretty good at digging. I can just use my hands. It's fine.
It's his
Cool.
character.
Yeah.
I will ask the only other two things that are important. Is there a light source for Saishori?
I will tap a rock with my artificer ability.
Yep.
Hand it to her.
And are you guys going single file right up against each other, or is there any gaps?
Don't I have night vision? Do I not have night
Dark
vision?
vision.
I thought you were the only one that didn't, unless I'm mistaken.
Dark
Oh,
vision.
That
yeah.
might be what I'm.
Well, we
that
all
might be
still
what I'm
need to sleep.
confusing.
We all
We
have.
just
Do
medically
you?
sleep.
Do you?
Kind of, sort of.
I
I
just
might be
can't
thinking.
move.
I might
for
be
some-
thinking of sleeping versus dark vision. I think you all have dark vision. Never mind. You can all see in the dark.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
But Suji's is the best at like up to 120.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Are you leaving any gaps between you, or are you guys like within 5 feet of each other?
Do
Are,
within.
Yeah,
we-
yeah.
Yeah, we'll do
Keep it
five.
tight.
okay.
Okay.
Are
Keep it
we?
tight.
We're able to stand though, right, in this tunnel?
Mostly. Seven's
Okay.
a little crouched.
He's just
Um,
scraping the
Oh yeah,
top.
yeah, just
I got my full height back.
yeah. Anybody who didn't have dark vision is seeing off the sparks coming off of Seven's head as he just is just grinding across the ceiling.
It's fun. Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't even look back. I just wand out, smile.
Mia was charisma save.
Charisma. Yeah. All right. Damn it. I'm gonna get you.
Cool. As you make your way into the darkened tunnel, I'm going to check with everybody right now. Are we good for another 15? Finish at 10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I'm just making
Works for
sure.
me.
I'm gonna check in with everybody while we're doing these sessions. So cool.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. As you make your way into this tunnel and you start marching along, um, I would like
Um,
a dexterity saving throw from
okay.
7 Vinteth and Zaishori.
Okay.
Of course, this fucker trapped the
So
fucking
I
passageways.
have advantage on dex against effects that I can see, as long as I'm not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
You would have plus from the aura.
All right. Got 15.
What was the order again? Was it +4 or +6?
It's plus your charisma modifier, so it should be a 4 right now.
Yeah.
Okay. As you're making your way through the tunnel, probably about maybe 15 or 20 minutes into it, um, 7, as you are kind of walking past, you don't seem to notice it at first. Um, but Vinteth and Zaishori right behind him, as 7 walks past, you watch something on the wall kind of like light up briefly before it goes dark for a second, and then you watch as just like a spray of blackish green energy just kind of sprays out into the 3 of you. The rest of you in the back kind of like take a step back and just see the 3 of them just get enveloped in this like ghastly, like greenish black energy. You all saved, so you'll take 8 points of necrotic damage.
Damn.
What the fuck was that?
All right. So I am going to start looking at the walls more carefully now, as I'm up front. Let's see if I can spot anything that shouldn't be in a wall.
Cool. I will say, for the sake of this, you can give me an investigation check with advantage, seeing as I'm going to assume the people behind you are helping keeping lookout, but you are
Yeah.
the point of this spear currently, so you are
Heck yeah.
So a 22 and a 23.
Nice.
there you go.
So 23.
As you kind of shake that one off, you all kind of gather yourselves and you continue walking on another 20 or so minutes. Eventually, 7 kind of on the edge of your dark vision, you can see kind of was pretty well hidden, but you're able to see just the edge of what looks like a paper sigil that was like grafted to the wall.
All right. Vintet, there's a sigil thing there that I don't Alright, so before we get to it, I'm gonna make enough room on the side of the wall for him to go through to investigate it. 'Cause I don't think he can physically get past me any other way.
He can squeeze past you. It's
Okay.
it's single file, which means it's upwards of 5-ish feet. Like there's room for you guys to pass each other, just not
Okay.
stand next to each other.
Okay.
Cool. You see before you this kind of like glyph that's on like almost a piece of it's almost a piece of paper with a glyph on it that looks like it's like rubbed up with like chalk and like not chalk, charcoal and dust to kind of like let it blend into the rock surface.
Mm.
And then it's kind of like paste onto the wall.
Hmm.
This is one that has not fired yet. This is the one that Seven noticed before you guys got to it.
Yeah. That's when the magic drips. It's not rock. Ah, no.
give, give
Okay.
me a dexterity check. Just dex check. Seems pretty good. As you kind of like rip it off the wall and like face it away from you, you feel it like start to light up and burn almost in your hand as it just like consumes it. You've seen this before with like spell scrolls. You watch it like it burns itself up in its use, and you watch as the spell kind of just burns outward into the tunnel. You wait for a second, and you don't seem to have taken any ill effect from this one.
Right. Good job.
I guess sometimes brute force is just as effective as smart decision
That's what I've been saying.
making.
Cool.
Sure. Why not?
All right. Give me investigation check for the next stretch. You would have advantage because you're helping each other.
Mhm. You said investigation?
Yep.
All right. Yeesh. 12.
19 with advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I would say over the course of the next half hour or so, as you guys continue onward, you're able to find another two or three of these traps and disarm them in a similar way. Now that you have seen them and kind of gotten an idea of how they trigger, it's not a hard thing for you to stop and deal with. But you notice that like it's not hard, but these are definitely hindrances. They are stopping. You're not moving as quickly through these tunnels because you're stopping and waiting. These are not really meant to knock you out as much as they are to slow you down. Give me a Arcana check. You're uncertain. I think you understand the damage type. Like you can tell like the necrotic like feel of the energy, but you're not sure what spell it is.
Is the base thing that let these traps happen a glyph of warding? Would I know that, or would I need to roll for that as well?
You can give me an Arcana check.
Okay. One
That's
sec.
that's an Arcana check. Yeah.
Uh-huh. 20.
20. Um, this does not. It feels almost akin to a glyph of warding, but like a non-spellcaster version, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Like these are paper traps almost that almost act like a glyph of warding without being so.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, over the course of the next half hour, you guys take your time. You slowly move through here, making sure you peel off these traps, which again, minor and they are, but still it's a hindrance of your time because you have to move slower through this tunnel. Eventually, towards the edge of your vision, you can see probably about 30 or so feet ahead of you, there is what looks like a makeshift ladder. Like they're just like metal rebar bars that are like bent and shoved into the side of the stone wall. I mean, it's loose rock and sediment, I guess, but it's more at this point, it's more of a rocky stone material. Who would like to head up the ladder first?
I can. I'll go up the ladder. Right, let's go up there.
All right. Seven, making your way up the ladder. You can see at the end of it there is no like clear cut like handle or door, but you can tell like just you giving it a little bit of a shove. Like there's a large stone topper on this that can be moved. Like definitely has give to it.
All right.
Yes. So bring it down to 4. You good? All right. 7, what are you doing?
We're pushing with all of our strength.
Sure, give me a strength check.
16.
16. As you kind of push, and again, it's a weird angle of like you're holding yourself on the ladder and just kind of like shoving, so you can't get your full back into it. But you watch as the stone just, and you're able to like shove it off to the side a little bit,
Okay,
and you all see sunlight start to pour into the tunnel.
because I should still have the spider boots on, so I will have all my strength.
That's fair. Still small. Yeah,
Yeah.
you still get it off.
Yeah.
It's open. You
Cool.
are free.
We're free.
Do not appear to be.
We're going. Where are we? All right, other than sunlight, what do I see?
Coming outside the sunlight, you see a number of buildings. There is a kind of small tent and what looks like a what looks like a bag that's like nailed to the ground.
Hmm. There's a weird thing.
Is the floor like dirt or something?
Nah.
No, I mean the floor is it's normal stone and cobblestone like you guys have been walking on while you were in town.
Okay, so no tracks.
They nailed it to the ground.
I'm gonna. I know I haven't been talking to him this session yet. Think, is there any chance you can? I know we weren't around him for long, but is there any chance you could get a whiff of him? Do you catch his scent well enough in the battle before?
I mean, I can certainly try, but there are a lot of people out there.
Understood. Can't hurt.
You see, as he like kind of sniffs the air, it's like you can see the overload of combination of trying to recall a scent in a crowd of people while also trying to pick up a scent in a well, maybe not the most crowded, still a like populated area. Like he's like, there's just a lot of like analysis paralysis of like not picking up something specific.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, boss. Nothing I can pick up right now.
That's no worries, Tinkers. It was worth the attempt.
Right. So you're all out here in this alleyway. Um, yes.
Yep. There's a bag nailed to the ground. Uh, Yee. Well, go detect it or something. Well, good looks off.
Fair.
You let South go into the bag. Okay. You all watch South disappear into the bag.
Well, go.
Like literally disappear?
Like
You
just
make the bomb.
disappear. You all hear a voice. Don't touch that bag!
Mm. Yep.
You all watch as through the back of the tent that the bag is behind, just a flap rips open. And for some of you, you see a familiar like visage of a humanoid figure in like a large cloak that's looks like it's very unsteady on its feet. And you just hear like,
Oh,
don't touch that bag! What are you doing?
Oh,
Uh, your cat's gone. I, I guess I can get it back. You want it? All right. You watch as it like stumbles over and puts its hand to the bag, thinks for a second, pulls out Zal. There you go.
yep. Yeah.
I saw nothing.
Yeah.
It was pure darkness and cold.
damn.
So it doesn't go anywhere. It is where we find solutions to answers.
Yes. Did we
Three
ever get their
kobolds.
names?
You did not.
No.
Right? Okay, okay,
Oh, you
okay.
did. 3 kobolds in trench coat. Oh, these people.
And that's where we're on tonight's session.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Gosh.
Welcome back to D&D.
Heck yeah.
We're so back.
You're so
Yes, sir. We're so back. Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Without
That is
fail, man.
classic stuff right there. Classic. Huh?
Best stuff. Oh,
So, like I said, we'll keep the conversation going in our chat. My rough estimate is per month, 3 sessions on, 1 session off, and we'll
Yep.
rotate between a Tuesday, a Wednesday, and a Friday.
Works for me.
And we'll kind of go from there. It means we'll probably have at least one person missing per session, or one person coming at least late to a session. Um, the Friday we can start working out times. We'll figure out, if the Friday, if it works better for us starting a little bit later. Obviously, we can go a little
Yeah.
bit later because weekend and whatnot. Though I know a couple of us don't work
Mhm.
regular schedules, so if you need to be up early, please speak up. We will not make sure everyone gets the same fairness here. So that's what we're gonna go with. So glad to be back. Glad here playing with all of y'all. Hope you
Hell yeah.
thank you for bearing with him with the recap, and hope it
It was good. It was
revitalized some
good to
some
hear
thoughts.
the summary and remind the
Yep.
yeah.
Heck yeah.
Again, open door. If you have any questions, if anything comes to mind, you're like, "Oh, what about this thing?" And I'm like, "Yep, I got answers." But we will pick back up with this once we figure out what the next date is for next week and beyond. We'll keep the chat going in the group chat and start. I would like to have it nailed out which day we're playing the following week within a couple of days of the previous session,
Yeah.
just so that way we can kind of schedule around it. But like I said, we'll keep the conversation going, make sure everyone works, and go from there.